guys, welcome back to another video. This is Mechahaulic, and here's my latest creation. We have a medieval dragon who I'm going to put in a little arena with a knight that is fighting him. So today I'm just going to talk about the different techniques I used to make him, and how one would go about building a dragon of this type, and what I would recommend. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so here's the dragon. I have not named him or anything. He's just a medieval dragon. And he's really cool. I'll show you. His neck bends very easily. And this is his belly. He's got a little wound here. Thinking about maybe putting a sword or something. And you can see he's not really meant to be viewed from this angle because I got those yellow 1x2s with the snot bricks. Or not 1x2s, but they're snot bricks. And I could change them to red, but I don't have those at the current moment. Maybe in the future. You can see the belly continues to the tail, which wraps all the way around. And gets skinnier. And the wings, all parts move. So the wings, you can see they move. It's very limited because of the front legs. They can go up, but they have to bend forward, or bend this way. And then they can go down. I like them to be slightly in and back. And this cloth is made out of construction paper. And the neck bends, all these segments and all. It's attached to the head by that piece. I don't know what it's called, but I'll show you guys real well. That piece right there. And of course the head decides to fall off. Oh well, I'll just take it off. And then you can straighten out all the segments. And as you can see, he has a red and white color scheme, the white being all of his little spikes and stuff. And the red, I've used dark red and light red in conjunction. And it's usually in random places, but sometimes it's for shading effect. And so let's get into the head, which actually is perfect because it's apart. It fell off. So I got these two guys, and then you can see the middle, which basically has this thorn, oops, that is behind it. Just sticks out. And the back legs are also fragile, and the head connection to the neck is fragile. But besides that, everything else is pretty sturdy for one of my builds. As you can see, this just pops off, and that's the middle of his head. This is kind of like a Pacific Rim Jaeger kind of head I did once. I got a snot brick that is making that slope, and then this connects to. And then the sides are made by this 1x2 snot brick. You just stick the panels on there, and they clip in. And then you have his eyes, which are indeed tooth pieces, but they're orange. And then you can stick this back on. And then there's his head. And you can tilt it a little bit if you want. But I like it like this. And where he's got his little dragon beard right there. So I'll cut to the next segment where I will show you how I made the body. Alright guys, so here's the body. This is possibly the most complicated part besides the head, which is indeed very hard to come up with. I had probably more than 5 iterations of the head before I settled on that one, and I've changed that one a significant amount before it ended up being the final. But this body was basically the same throughout its construction. I did mess around with the front a good bit. And this is my least favorite part right here because it doesn't transition well. And I would be able to change that to make it transition well, but it would not be as structurally sound. And since it's the body, it kind of matters. So, yeah. But I've taken off all the appendages, as you can see. That's where the front leg goes, that's where the wing goes, and that's where the back leg goes. There's the tail, and that's the head. Just for reference. And if you look at pictures of dragons, you see that they often have, kind of like a horse, they have a big shoulder on top of their arm. And then the same thing with their hind legs. But their hind leg one has more of a dips off at the end, more than a subtle incline, like the rest of it. And so I put that there as the body. Spikes all along the entire back. It's not like a tame dragon or anything, so I don't need to put a saddle or anything. Otherwise, I might have spaced out the spikes more inconsistently. And I got this for a little bit of detail, so this isn't all flat. But I do need most of this to be flat, so the legs and wings and stuff can move. And then this is the masterpiece right here. This whole belly comes off as a piece since I built it upside down. You can see the back is just plates. And that sticks on by this guy right here. This guy is actually attached to a couple snot bricks that are sitting right there. They are attached to the front, and the front is attached to this, as well as the snot bricks are also attached to the top. So this is all really strong, and then you add this on, which is directly level with the bottom of the snot bricks, so you can just slip on the top. And then it just clicks into place. There's no seams because I've filled in the sides exactly how they should be. And as you can see on the inside, it doesn't really matter how this looks. And, oh, I left that part on the back. But you can see that these pieces right here, they hold on the back so that it can be stronger instead of just the front holding it on. And then I kind of did the little slope action to make it fit together to have this ball joint in the end so I could attach the tail. And then this just sits in right there. This is all hollow on the inside. I didn't see if need to fill it in with bricks or anything. It wouldn't make much of a difference to the structure of the model. And that's about all I got to say for the body. Except that the wings are not in a great position. If you were going to make your dragon, I'd suggest either making your body taller so that your wings can be farther apart from your front legs, or putting the wings just higher and the front arms lower. Give it more of a menacing look, kind of. But I had already built all of this. I had put these in without building the legs or the wings, so I was like, well, it honestly looks really good, so I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to go show you guys the tails and the legs. Alright, tails and the legs for this clip. Basically all I have to say for the front leg is I've attached it sideways, as you can see. Legs are pretty hard since they need to be organic, but they also need to be pretty thin to be functional. So that's why you can see all these joints out. And indeed, I used this joint on both ends so that I could have this little back foot. You can see some dragons have like two-pronged feet in a way, that they have their front paw and then they have a back pad. And these raise and lower individually like fingers, so they could, well, I guess they could grab onto something. I've never thought of that before. That's pretty cool. But that's just so that if they're on uneven terrain, like if there's a hill right there, they can do that. And basically it's meant to be viewed from this side. This side is a little bit more ugly, but honestly not much more. It's just this bump basically separates the two. That's it about the front leg. So the back leg, It's more beefy, as back legs often tend to be. This is the part right here that usually comes off. This is only the 2 stud connection, and there's often a good bit of weight. And since it's so beefy, it kind of pulls itself off. It doesn't like to be slid around. Here's the back paw, or back pad for this one. And I did a little bit different claws, just so to have a little differentiation. And you got your thing, your lower leg, and then you got your knee, big upper leg. And there is a little bit of a gap here, but I think that's fine. It's because, it looks good from front and sides, so there doesn't need to be seal up the gap. Just to, like, if I was going to put one more plate there, that would seal up the gap, but then it wouldn't be angled the way I want it to. So this is a nice smooth curve. When you're building legs, smooth curves are good, and you can use all these slopes to achieve that. And I've gone, these two are attaching to this, which is built vertically, and then they're attached to this on the sides. And then if I can pull this off, you can see that this is attached to the front, so you have this whole top section as a different part, and it attaches with snot bricks right there, and then all the seams seal up. So it's really quite a cool little leg. I think I went about 2 or 3 variations of this before I settled on this, but I really like that. And the tail was probably the easiest part and the most fun, and I think it's pretty easy, but I'll just tell you guys how to do it anyway. You want to slope in, have a bigger sections, taller as well as wider, and then you get skinnier. See, I even did double plate, single plate, or double plate and then single plate, and then these all slope down until you get the single ones, and you can't slope those. And you can straighten it all out. It's a pretty long tail, to be honest. This is not meant to be a club or anything. Some dragons have clubs, some have tapered ends. I just wanted something a little bit more interesting at the end, but not necessarily a club, because that's not the kind of dragon I wanted to have. And I attached these, just simple technique. You snap it on. Got a little bit of slope down here, just to make the thing more to flow more easily. And then these, even though I want more red down there, I wanted it to be as skinny as possible before going into there, so that's what I did for that. And that's it. And lastly, the wings. There's not much to say about these, but I did do 3 things, and this one is actually not attached, but the other ones are attached by holes, which I've put these on the other side of, and I've made these by the little hinges. That's how they sit out, and I've even put a little angled plate there to fill in the gap. You see right there. And just slope this a little, because that's the main branch. Didn't want it to look all too flat. And I really could have done better wings, but I really think these are really pretty good. If I were to make another dragon in the future, and I didn't need it to be this big, I'd probably make a smaller one and do the Lego wings to it. Just feel like that would be easier. And they would probably look a little bit better than these. But not on this particular dragon, because these wings have to be pretty big. That's all I have to say about these. If you are making a dragon yourself, keep in mind with the wings, you should probably do them at the same time as your legs, which I didn't. And that's why I had that confliction earlier with the moving around the wings. And you should also keep in mind what position you want your dragon to be in. I wanted my dragon to be in a more resting, like a got his wings kind of folded back position. And he's going to be roaring at the night kind of thing. But if you want your dragon to have his wings spread out and he's breathing fire or something, then build the wings accordingly, because these aren't, you can't change the position of these and have it look good as you want, usually. So, that's all I have to say.
Feels good to have the dragon back together. And we have now reached the end of the video. I know I haven't posted anything in a while, but you know, the way I do things is I just post as I make things. And here I've made something. Something will be coming soon, because I have gotten into a challenge with Corey and Luke, the brick builders. And we'll make some cool stuff. So I'll be updating y'all on that. Probably be hearing from me soon. And like the video, comment, tell me what you're thinking. Please subscribe to the channel, it helps a lot. And also, another thing, if you're going to watch the videos, please watch them the whole way through, because that gives me viewing time, which is good for other people finding my channel. So, thank you for that in advance, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Mechahaulic, signing out.